The New York Rangers currently have two forward prospects playing in the OHL playoffs, and since the first round has now been completed, we're going to take a look at these two prospects and their teams to kind of see how they did in the first round of the playoffs. Starting off here with 6'7", 195-pound center/wing prospect Dylan Roobroeck. He does have experience at both, and he has done so in the playoffs as well. So obviously that is quite valuable to have, the fact that he is a center and a winger. Former sixth-round pick by the Rangers, number 178 overall back in the 2023 NHL draft. So this most recent draft here, he was taken in the sixth round as a bit of an overager. It was his draft, plus 1 year. So he was a bit of an older kind of prospect, but he's a pretty talented guy as well. I mean, 6'7", you cannot teach that height. And the fact that he is quite the good skater, and he does have a pretty good overall offensive skill set as well. So for a guy who is 6'7", I think the overall skills that he has and the skating ability is quite nice. Sometimes a lot of these tall guys may not be the best skaters or may not be the best overall offensive talent, but he definitely does have a pretty good overall game, especially offensively, and the skating ability for his size is quite great as well. And we do know the Rangers like their tall prospects. I mean, Matt Rempe and Adam Edstrom have both made their debuts at the NHL level this season. So maybe we do end up seeing at some point, all three of those guys who are all 6'7" or taller, obviously, maybe in a preseason game at least on the same line together. I think that would be pretty cool to see. But he is going to be a year or two out at least before he does make the NHL. But he definitely is a guy to keep an eye on. One aspect that I definitely think he kind of does need to improve in to really make a good impact at the NHL level is the defensive side of things. I mean, overall offensively, he's quite good, but defensively definitely could get a lot better, especially if he does want to kind of stick as a center at the NHL level. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And Dylan Roobroeck and the Oshawa Generals did end up beating the Barrie Colts in the first round of the OHL playoffs in 6 games. So they won that series 4-2. Not bad at all. They definitely had a pretty good series there. And Dylan Roobroeck actually did quite good as well, having 6 games played in that series, 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. Only one of those points were on the power play, 1 power play assist, so not too bad at all. And on the faceoffs as well, actually did quite the good job, winning 51% of his faceoffs, not too bad. He's an overall pretty solid center, but like I said, defensively definitely could get a bit better, but the faceoffs are pretty good here. He is a winger as well, so he does have that, capability of playing both, which is definitely important. And he's just overall a pretty decent prospect and definitely is looking like a decent steal for his 6th round pick. And Dylan Roobroeck also had a total of 68 games played in the regular season, 26 goals, 46 assists for 72 points, just over a point per game, not too bad at all. Compare that to last year where he only had 53 points, a pretty big jump, 19-point difference is not too bad at all. And the other New York Rangers prospect currently playing in the OHL is Bryce McConnell-Barker, who plays for the Sioux Greyhounds. And so far, they actually had a pretty great first round, sweeping the Guelph Storm in 4 games there, 4-0 in the series. Not too bad at all, but Bryce is a 6'2", 188-pound center prospect, known for having a very good two-way game, really good kind of complete center, really good defensively, good offensively, a PK guy, and also is very good in the draws as well as in that 4-game series against the Guelph Storm where they swept that series. He did have a 57% face-off win percentage, not too bad at all. Really good face-off guy, really good all-around center, and definitely a guy who one day could be a pretty great kind of two-way center at the NHL level. But Bryce is a former 3rd-round pick by the Rangers with pick number 97 overall back in the 2022 NHL draft. So a late 3rd rounder. And so far, I would definitely say Bryce is looking like a pretty solid pick by the Rangers. Taking a look, though, in that 4-game series, Bryce did end up having 4 games played, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 total points. He was a +5, and overall, I thought played pretty great. He did end up having 1 power play goal and 3 power play assists, so half of his points were on the power play, but still, I thought he had a pretty great series there. Looked quite dominant at times as well. He's a really solid kind of all-around prospect. Like I said, defensively is very solid, and that is the main part of his game, I would say, and the best aspect of his game is his overall kind of two-way play defensively. That is really what he kind of thrives in, but also being a very good face-off guy as well. He's been quite dominant on the draws, so definitely happy to see that. You always want to see your centerman be really good on the draws, and he is definitely that. So that is quite nice. Same thing with Dylan Roobroeck as well. Both these guys are quite good in the draws. Taking a look, though, in the regular season, Bryce did end up having 52 games played, 22 goals, 29 assists for 51 total points. So he was just under a point per game in this regular season. But you take a look at last regular season back in 2022, 2023, he had a much better kind of offensive season. 68 games played that full season there, 30 goals, 47 assists for 77 total points. But the overall team last year was, I would say, definitely much, much worse than it is this season. Last year they didn't even make the playoffs. This year they're looking like one of the top teams in the entire OHL, really. So I do think that this is a team who definitely could possibly go on a deep run. And the one nice thing, though, is at least this time around, in the past, it was Will Cooley against Brendan Hoffman in the playoffs when I was watching those two guys. They were both in the Western Conference. So they both met in the Western Conference final. This time around, there is the chance that we could possibly see both these guys meet in the OHL finals this time, because Bryce McConnell-Barker and the Sioux Greyhounds are in the Western Conference, and then in the Eastern Conference is the Oshawa Generals and Dylan Roobroeck. So there is the possibility there where we could see both these two prospects meet in the OHL finals, which, as a Canadian Rangers fan from Ontario, I'm a big OHL guy. I watch a ton of games there. I'm mainly a Pete's fan, but obviously I'm a big OHL guy. I love to watch the OHL. So seeing these two prospects potentially meet in the OHL final would be so much fun to watch. So I do think that, obviously, it's not guaranteed, but it definitely is a possibility where we could see both these guys meet in the OHL finals. And they definitely are on both, pretty solid teams as well. So it definitely is somewhat of a realistic possibility. Anyways, though, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on these two prospects. And also, don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content. I do post every single day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next one. See ya.